Okay, so let's see if there's anything else over here that we would like to acquire that we can hopefully still afford. Like, this I think was a weapon shop. Yeah, like submachine gun damage would be pretty nice. A new sniper rifle would be pretty nice. That's actually surprisingly, I don't think that's, let's see, counting the zeros here. That's not that expensive. Submachine gun damage upgrade is expensive. The other things are gear. I mean, like, basically armor for Shepard. I think we already have good armor for Shepard, so we aren't really looking to switch that around all that much. Whereas, something like a new, where are you? The new sniper rifle. Obviously, Shepard can't equip sniper rifles, but, or at least not at the moment for Vanguards at least, but our squad mates can. So, or at least some of our squad mates can, like Zaid, and we are seemingly using Zaid, I think, fairly often because he does complement our skill set a lot. We're sort of a close-range specialist, and he's more of a long-range specialist. So this might not be a bad idea to pick up. Yeah, so it should be an upgrade to our existing sniper rifle. So, I'd say let's get this, and then if we can still afford it, which we can, though it's close, let's pick up the SMG damage upgrade, because especially after picking up the new SMG from Kasumi's loyalty mission, we now have a much better one, the Locust. And so, previously, the SMG, the starting SMG at least, was one that we were pretty reluctant to ever use, and so at the time it felt like, okay, well, I mean, upgrading it is not going to do us much good, it's still going to be pretty terrible. But now that we have a pretty solid one, we're probably going to use it a little more often, and so getting the additional damage on it is not a bad thing, and it may even be a bottleneck for future upgrades that we were looking at, because, well, we had several things that we were waiting on a few more damage upgrades before we could actually get them. So let's take this.
We can use this.
And we are now pretty darn broke. Theoretically, if there's something that's around the same price as that incisor, we might still be able to pick it up, but otherwise we may not be able to do that. Let's see, if we go over here, this was the club, or at least the bar, and we got absolutely wasted at the bar previously. Hold on, dance? Oh, absolutely. Without question. Oh, but we got the, hold on, we got the wrong angle. Wrong angle. Can't change the camera angle when we're in the middle of the dancing. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Hold on. Proper angle with the dancing. Let's make it happen. Let's see, like so. Something like that. That's a little better. Yeah, we got the Shepard shuffle. We got it going. We got it going now. Party up. Let's do it. All right. Shepard is feeling the music. Okay. Let's see. Did we try going back here previously? What is this spot? I've got the men's restroom. We can... What? We can talk to Jack about the men's restroom. Jack, I don't think you're supposed to be in here right now. Okay.
Reminds me of a latrine in purgatory. 7 guys came at me. Guards and prisoners. Split one's head open. Snapped the spine of another. But I was slow. They got me. Later on, I got them. One by one.
Yeah, so, you know, that's the kind of thing where, as we were saying before, Jack, certainly, maybe, you know, we don't stare at that guy who's standing in front of that, but, you know, Jack may be, you know, may be a little aggressive at times, but, you know, she has had some pretty terrible things happen to her as well, so you can understand where she's coming from.
Will it be?
I think probably pretty good review after having, passed out last time we spoke with you.
If you change your mind.
Then I think that means we are pretty much good to go here. Unless there's anything else, any other stores we want to try to get to on this floor, but I'm not sure that there are. Look out for a corner here, or we will never speak to again. I think that may be everything here. So let's head on out. And we did pick up a surprising amount of upgrades. In fact, I think just about everything that has sort of direct impacts on the effectiveness of the team. I mean, we could have picked up a few more pieces of armor and what have you, but like I was saying, I think we've got what is a pretty good set of armor for us right now. Not really looking to switch that around anytime soon, but getting damage upgrades, damage protection upgrades, all that stuff will definitely help us long term. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, JPEG. Alright, so, we picked up a bunch of upgrades on the Citadel. Let's take a look now at our research terminal and see where that leaves us. So when it comes to weapon upgrades here, we unfortunately still don't have anything that we can get right now. For armor upgrades, though, we now can do the redundant field generator, which I believe is one of the things that we picked up. So this is the one that sometimes when Shepard shields go down, they will instantly get fully restored, which is convenience. I mean, I don't think it's something that we're going to be able to rely on, and it's maybe not super relevant for us as a Vanguard, because if we charge into people with our biotic charge, we can get our shields back that way. But it's another way if we feel like, you know, we're really pinned down in a corner and we don't think it's safe to charge into someone and our shields are down, that might bail us out every once in a while, so we'll pick it up. We certainly have the resources to do so. And then that may have just unlocked something else there as well. But the tech damage is another thing that we just picked up. Squad bonus of 20% duration of all tech powers. So traditional Omni tools are tuned for precise and delicate work. Eclipse engineers tune their Omni tools in the opposite manner, focusing on quickly releasing raw energy, but rendering them incapable of performing delicate work without swapping in an alternate tool. Cerberus has prototyped a multiple operating system approach that should allow one Omni tool to run dozens of configurations with instantaneous swapping as the user switches tasks. This should result in better performance at each individual task. Does cost more EZO, but we have loaded up on a ton of that, so we should be good. Make this upgrade as well, and again, not going to be something that really affects us directly, because we don't have much of anything in the way of tech powers, but oftentimes our squad mates will. Let's see, other than that, we saw the trauma module, which means that Unity will heal our squad to full health. So I think that's worth picking up. A similar situation, if we find ourselves really pressed, you know, cornered and taking serious damage, and we're about to go down, then this can turn Unity into a good way to bail us out, even if we're just taking damage and one of our squad mates hasn't necessarily gone down yet. So, a standard first aid interface that can stabilize, not gonna lie, at first I read that and I thought it said cannibalize, that's very different. Cannibalize a badly wounded soldier. Oh no, what has happened, Shepard? Prevent death from all but the most serious wounds. The base technology, however, is ineffective on conscious soldiers who are currently taking fire, as each pain signal resets the process. Trauma module separates the metagel administration into two layers, active and passive. The active layer constantly distributes small amounts of metagel to refresh wound sites. Passive layer handles major deployments in incapacitating wounds, or to incapacitating wounds. When large amounts of metagel are deployed to incapacitated squad members, fighting members are also healed. So it gives us a little bit more use cases for breaking out that Unity ability. Let's see, then that's everything when it comes to our squad or our ammo upgrades. Let's see, ship enhancements. I don't think we have any new enhancements here. As we were saying, those are things that for the most part I think we're going to wait on. Then anything new here? This more miscellaneous category. We may have just picked up the heavy muscle weave, but we cannot yet get it here. So that will have to wait, I'm afraid. So, well, the other thing is that I would like to pick up the advanced, where is it? The advanced training to get Kasumi's grenade ability. But let's save before we do so, because what I found is that sometimes when you do that, after immediately finishing someone's loyalty mission, it may not yet have registered that you're supposed to be able to do that, So there's a non-zero chance that if we take advanced training here, that it may only show the Inferno Grenade from Zaid, and that's not really what we're looking for, and I believe once you click on this, there's no canceling it out, so we can invest another 5,000 element zero to override Zaid's Inferno Grenade with another ability, but of course we'd rather not just throw away 5,000 EZO for no good reason, so we'll check it out. We'll see if Kasumi's ability is available here. If not, then we'll just reload that save that we just did before we do this, just to check. Okay, so here we have it. Yes, Flashbang Grenade is available to us, so we'll definitely take it. So it's a disorienting concussive charge that's thrown that inflicts minor damage, so it's not there for, you know, taking enemies out. It is primarily there to incapacitate enemies, and it has a very powerful debuff. It has a very large AoE, so that I think is going to be really helpful for us. So let's take it. And I'm actually not sure if that qualifies as a tech ability or a combat ability or what, because we were, of course, looking recently at some tech ability upgrades, and we were saying how that doesn't really affect us, it only affects our squad mates, but there's a chance that that does, at the very least, affect Flashbang, or the, I will continue to forget the name of it. Yeah, Flashbang Grenade. And when we do take that upgrade from the research terminal, we will automatically get the first level here, so it is in some ways a free skill points from that. You know, you can't do that repeatedly to continue to get more free skill points. Technically, I think there is a glitch of sorts that can allow you to do that, but we'll refrain from going that route here. So, yeah, as we were saying before, it's a disorienting concussive charge that's thrown that inflicts minor damage and incapacitates all nearby targets. Both delicate electronics and enemy nervous systems are temporarily disabled, causing weapon overheats, omni-tool jams, and difficulties in using biotic powers. So, there's a lot in that, a lot of different things that it disables. So, you'll see here, if we look at the stats below, recharge time is 6 seconds, so I think that is slower than some of our other abilities. Let's see. Full is just 3 seconds. Shockwave is also 6, or actually at rank 2, yeah, still 6. Charge is also 6. So it's the duration or the cooldown of our longer cooldown abilities. I think pull is generally one of the fastest. So, but it has a 6-meter radius, which is pretty huge. Damage just 45 is not that big if we're comparing that to, let's see, I think most of our abilities here, if they're biotic, are going to be measured in force and newtons of force rather than just pure damage. It's a little bit harder to make that direct comparison, but just take my word for it that 45 is not a super high number. The incapacitate duration, though, is a little bit misleading there. That 3 seconds is specifically the 3 seconds in which your enemies will be having their weapons overheat. However, those other things like omni-tool jams and difficulty using biotic powers, which is actually the thing that may be more powerful of a debuff, that lasts far longer than 3 seconds. In fact, that can last, I mean, we'll have to see in practice, but I think on the order of 30-ish seconds, and that's huge. So if we have enemies that are using some powerful biotic or tech abilities, and we throw a flashbang grenade at them, that is an amazing way to weaken them for an extended period of time, and that is why the flashbang grenade, I think, is a very good fit for us, because this is a good way to, you know, throw this out early against those strong enemies and either use that to buy yourself some time to take care of the weaker ones, or just make the strong enemies a much more straightforward showdown. So for all those reasons, I think that is a good option for us to be going with the flashbang grenade here. So that's another reason why getting Kasumi's loyalty mission done early was also certainly a nice thing for us to do. So, with that being said, at this point, I think we are looking to go to Omega to recruit Archangel here. As I was saying previously, this is, of all the recruitment missions that we were looking at, potentially one of, if not the hardest, which is one of the primary reasons why I deliberately tried to do, well, basically every possible other mission before we did that one, so that we could level up as much as possible, and I think we succeeded in doing that because, well, we did complete basically everything else. And we got enough experience to eke out several more levels. So we got several more skill points, and as we just saw, picked up several more upgrades. But now let's head out. And head over to Omega. Of course, we've been there before, but we have other business to attend to here. Okay, so let's see. I think, of course, we're gonna want to go to Omega itself, but we have potentially a little more shopping we might want to do here, in addition to, of course, doing the actual mission to recruit Archangel. So let's get going. Okay, so let's see. I think when we're just exploring Omega at the beginning here, it's not going to matter too much who we take with us. But once we are actually going to Archangel's actual recruitment mission, it will matter, and I think we'll get the chance to change our squad later on if we'd like to. So, I mean, you could potentially make the case, just in case, it might be worth setting ourselves up with the team we're looking to bring on this mission, so that if we don't get the chance to do a squad change, we're still primed and ready to go. But either way, I think, why don't we, in that case, play a little bit safe here? We'll go with, I'm thinking definitely Zaid, again, as a good complement to us from when it comes to our weaknesses. We don't have much in the way of long-range combat, and he definitely does do that. And also, the Disruptor squad ammo is definitely a good way to power up the rest of the team with their weapons. Then, other than that, I'm thinking, how about we take Miranda? Because I think with this mission, what we're going to find is that we are going to have a wide variety of enemies that we're going to go against. And Miranda, one of her greatest strengths is that she's just really well-rounded. She has Overload for shields, Warp for barriers and armor, and then not the strongest when it comes to weapon damage, but Zaid can fill that hole a little bit, and providing the additional squad ammo can help improve her weapon ability a little bit more. And because we just picked up a new and more powerful submachine gun, and we already picked up the card effects on Morden's recruitment mission, I think even for SMGs and heavy pistols, she has decent options there. So let's take her too. Then when it comes to the weapons, I think for the most part, oh, hold on. We do have something new here for Zaid when it comes to sniper rifles, because we were previously working with the Mantis, but we did just pick up the Incisor. So it's one of the new wave of military and police sniper rifles designed to overload active defenses such as shields. Firing 3 shots with each pull of the trigger, the Incisor's burst is so fast that all 3 rounds will be in the target by the time the barrel has moved a millimeter, increasing its stopping power without sacrificing accuracy. As an added benefit, noise of the burst is comparable to a single rifle shot in duration, making it no easier to locate the sniper by sound. So I think generally, this is just going to be an improvement over the Mantis, if I'm not mistaken. So let's try this out here. Then we still only have our Avenger for the assault rifle, so we'll stick with that. When it comes to us, though, and our heavy weapon, at least for the actual recruitment mission, I'm thinking we may want to break out the new heavy weapon that we just recently got access to, the Avalanche. This is, again, the sort of freeze gun of sorts. It is a cryo-round technology that is used to modify standard weapon slugs. A cooling laser collapses the ammunition into Bose-Einstein condensate, a mass of supercooled subatomic particles capable of snap-freezing impacted objects. Normandy scientists have found a way to apply this technology on a large scale. By generating a mass effect containment bubble, this proof-of-concept large weapon technology is effective against armor, shields, and biotic barriers. It's nicknamed the Cryoblaster, or in other words, the freeze gun. Other than that, yeah, we have the Locust. That's our new and improved SMG. Artifacts looks good too, and get Plasma Shotgun. So we now have an improved version of basically all the weapons we can equip here. So we're not working with the base weapons for any of those. So for that reason, I'm thinking from a weapon standpoint, we are in a much, much better place than when we first started out. And for that reason, you know, compare this to if we had gone into this recruitment mission first, and from that alone, that should make a pretty big difference. Okay, so we're back on Omega.
Quarantine reports. The plague has been completely eradicated, Shepard. Dr. Solis's assistant has been helping any patients with complications. I have also accessed messages between mercenary groups regarding plans to deal with the Archangel. There's a recruiting station at Afterlife that may have information on him.
Okay, so there we get follow-up on our previous mission, in which we recruited Morden, and of course there was this problem with the plague, in which, well, it was seemingly a pretty serious problem. Not for humans, not for Vorcha, but for basically everyone else. So for that reason, good to hear that it appears as though, even with Morden gone, still found a way to fix or cure people who have been afflicted by the plague. And, so we will be looking to recruit Archangel, yes. But I'm thinking before we do that, we'd like to see if there's anything else we can pick up shopping-wise on Omega, because I think we only were here in that first wave of missions we did when we first went to Omega. I don't think we've ever gone back here. So it has been a while.
I heard a human went into the plague zone. Then I found out about a lot of dead Vorcha down there. You know anything about this?
Who, me? Nah, definitely not.
Dead Vorcha? No. Don't know anything about that.
Uh-huh. Right. Well, my
Right.
job just got a whole lot easier.
Oh, you're welcome? What do you do here?
What's your job here exactly?
I'm supposed to keep the Vorcha in line. Keep them out of Arya's sight. That's about it. Not much for me to do anymore. But the way those Vorcha breed, I'll have something to do soon enough.
Okay, what exactly have the Vorcha been up to? I mean, of course, we've seen the Blood Pack, which is the primary group that the Vorcha have been affiliated with, have been causing some trouble.
There's an awful lot of Vorcha here. What are they planning?
Vorcha? Plan? They're a pestilence, nothing more. If they started planning, we'd all be in big trouble.
Alright, if you say so.
Just be going.
Keep up the good work.
Alright, we actually get a couple Paragon points out of that, for sure. Let's see. Anything else
Come on, let me in.
we can chat with people about over here?
Arya's expecting me.
Arya is expecting me. Gosh.
If she were expecting you, you'd be inside.
Let's see. So, we should be able to access the map here on Omega, one of the few places where we actually can do that. So we can go into Afterlife, which is where we can find Arya, and I think she actually was one of the people that we needed to talk to get Archangel's recruitment mission started. Because you may remember, when we first went to Omega, we did chat with her, and she did start to give us some hints about how to pursue him. But let's first head over to these side areas here, and as I was saying, before we actually get that mission started, let's see if there's anything we can pick up here from the shops. Of course, we bought a lot on the Citadel, so I'm not really expecting us to be able to afford much, if anything, here, but just in case, let's see. Ken Salvage has the Matic, which is a medium-range semi-automatic rifle, effective against armor, shields, and barriers, so it's an assault rifle. Upgrades the Avenger assault rifle. Matic is a semi-automatic hybrid weapon with an assault rifle's low heat production and a sniper rifle's punch. Though it does not have a sniper rifle's precision scope, Marksman favors increased power over that of an assault rifle to bring down hardened targets. Its lack of a full auto setting is advertised as a feature rather than a shortcoming, since it curbs a soldier's tendency to spray inaccurate fire under stress. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. So we can actually afford it. That is an option. But before we commit to that, let's take a look at the other shops, because we may very well only be able to afford one or two things here. Because we are not doing great from a credit standpoint after spending all those monies. I think that's going to take us into Afterlife, if I'm not mistaken. So, oh, Brandon, the way you were standing there really looked like you were just hanging out with that Vorcha dude. To the point where I thought you were actually an NPC. But, let's hop up here to see if there's anything we'd like to buy Let's see. I thought there's a couple more shops here, if I'm not mistaken. Eric's Emporium, I think, is actually up here is where we're seeing that? Yeah. Alright, let's check this out. Anything here we'd like? Again, the equipment and other sort of cosmetic-y stuff, not so concerned about that. The hack module is kind of interesting because it doubles the amount of time that we have to hack. That's specifically the one where you're trying to match up the segments of code, and that one I'm definitely much worse at than the matching game where it's, you know, the two hidden symbols that you need to pair up, and then you do a series of those. So for this one, I mean, it's purely a quality of life convenience thing where, you know, maybe occasionally it will be the difference between you succeeding and failing, and therefore it could potentially pay off, but of course at least the theoretical optimized solution would be to just always get your hacks right and never need to spend the credits on this, because it's pretty expensive as it appears here. So you know, probably something we'd like to pass on. Terminus Armor, this is one that we might have looked at initially. The shield strength is nice, and especially with our ability to get some of those shields back using our biotic charge, but I think our existing armor has a 10% bonus, if I'm remembering correctly. So this is a little bit better from a pure shield standpoint, but I think our armor has at least one or two other things that it does as well that are perhaps a little more useful. I mean, the reserve ammo actually can be helpful when it comes to things like heavy weapons in particular, if that's the difference between you being able to fire some additional shots and the storm speed. I'm not sure how relevant that's going to be. I mean, we've certainly had occasions where we've accidentally popped out of cover and then had to run back somewhere to get back to a safe spot. Maybe times like that, or when you just need to run from one point of cover to another, because someone's flanking you, chasing you down, that could be helpful too. So it's not to say that's meaningless, but may not be the most relevant thing for us to prioritize here. Then we have the Black Storm, which is another heavy weapon. It's a gravitational singularity projector, and we can afford it. We have, of course, recently just acquired or finished the research for the Avalanche, the freeze gun. So, you know, we may not necessarily be looking to pick up a new heavy weapon right now. Might be looking to hold off a little bit more, so not seeing anything right off the bat that I feel like we must get from that spot. So maybe the assault rifle weapon is top priority at the moment, unless we have something interesting here. Let's see, sniper rifle damage probably would be something we'd like to pick up. That is definitely something we'd like to get. 30% damage for the entire squad across the board. It's not, you know, specific to armor or shields or anything. I think we do have a sniper rifle damage upgrade for armor specifically that we need a generic upgrade before we are allowed to make that improvement. So this would be very nice from that standpoint. We are definitely low on the credits, though, unfortunately. Anything else here that we'd like to pick up? Power damage, 15%, shield strength, 10%. That's another one that is kind of tempting. Those are things that we like. The shield strength, like I said, works well with vanguards, and power damage, I mean, we actually, for the most part, we've been focusing on weapon damage thus far, more so than power damage, but at least eventually, once we load up more on, I mean, I suppose our charge is fully upgraded at this point, but Hull is never really going to be a damage dealer, but, you know, like Shockwave, like if we upgrade that further, or the Flashbang Grenade, I mean, that's not really meant to be a damage upgrade. I mean, I suppose, to tell you the truth, when it comes to our abilities, our biotic abilities, we're mostly looking to do crowd control with those, and we'll be relying more on our teammates to be dishing out damage with their powers, and so maybe power damage is not actually as relevant as it might first seem. So, you know, could make the case that we just should save every last scrap for this assault, or rather, sniper rifle upgrade. But I think, why don't we pick up that new assault rifle, because at least right now we're just working with the base one. I don't remember how the Matic really stacks up. As it's saying, it is slower for sure than the base one, but it has the Avenger, the base assault rifle, but it is higher damage. I just don't know from a damage per second standpoint. I don't remember offhand how exactly it stacks up, and sometimes there's actually a difference when it comes to the effectiveness that your squad mates have with a weapon versus the effectiveness that you, Shepard, the player, has with a weapon, because your squad mates tend to be more accurate with weapons, even if they're ones that typically have some bullet spread. So that could also be a reason why it might be an upgrade for us, might not be for them, but it's not that expensive, so let's pick it up, especially because, like I said, at the moment at least, only had one assault rifle available to us, so that could be a nice thing to at least have the option, and we'll experiment with it a little bit further. So that, I think, is the last of the upgrades we were looking to make, or things we're looking to purchase. Could potentially even stop back off at the Normandy and see if we can research to lock any of those upgrades in. But I mean, some of them were just getting access to, like that, additional weapons, so that may not be necessary for us to do that. But let's poke around here a little bit more. Who is Kylan?
What are you looking at?
Whoa there, buddy. Careful now. Not so fast.
Don't you have something better to do than pick fights with people you don't know?
No, just the ones who get in my face.
You see my gun. Do you really want to do this?
Fine. You're off the hook. For now. See you around.
Or not, preferably. Alright, sure. Just get a few Paragon points while we're at it. I just saw someone else who might be able to chat with. Did I not? It might have just been this door. Perhaps so? Okay, and I think we might have been a little too quick to zoom through Afterlife here previously. I think there may be a little more we can do here before we press onward to try to recruit Archangel. So, let's see. For example, are there other NPCs, like, say, this bottle of brandy we might be able to buy, or talk to Zaid about the bar?
On your bar out on the front, not like this. Me and some friends got stupid one night. Long story short, tempers flared, followed by pistols. We all got out, except my buddy Narco. Places like this are slaughterhouses, dressed as nightclubs. I shit you not.
Okay. Well, this bottle of brandy. Can we purchase the Sarah-sized brandy? This is the brandy that Dr. Chakwas is looking for, and as I was saying previously, I said several times I thought we did not yet have access to any location where we could buy it. I was wrong. We just missed this in Afterlife, so let's nab it. And so that does mean that we can now deliver that to Dr. Chakwas, which may even be worth doing. Because we've basically done the hard part, if you will, at this point, picking that up. Let's see, is there anything else we can talk to this bartender about? Because I don't think we have yet. Hello. I guess we can order a drink? Without speaking any words? Like you did the slightest little spritz in that glass and gave us approximately 2 droplets of whatever that beverage was. More. Give me now. Alright, that time looked like perhaps a little bit more. It's just the liquid appears to be pretty transparent, pretty see-through, hard to tell how much it's actually filled it. Also, pay no mind to the fact that we are currently sipping that beverage through our visor right now. So, in truth, we're just spilling all this stuff on the ground and not actually consuming any of it. But that doesn't mean we can't have more. See, this guy actually react at all if we just continue taking shot after shot. Of course, we know what happened when we tried doing this on the Citadel, but yeah, it looks like Shepard's starting to feel it a bit. Alright, give us another one. We're still good to go. I can have another one. I'm fine. That's not... Fill again. Fill again. Maybe this doesn't change, after all. No words were spoken. But, oh boy, things are how did that happen? Hey, how's it going? Don't mind me. Is this the way out? Where does this go? I went through here already, didn't I? Alright, anyways. Are we better? I think we're better now. So, let's take a look here at our journal. So we do now have the Sericized brandy that Dr. Chakwas was looking for. So we can bring this back to her, and I think it may actually be worth doing that before we continue with Archangel. We are eventually at least looking to join the Mercs, and I think we may be able to do that in this general area soon. But before doing so, I think it is worth making a point of chatting with Dr. Chakwas back in the Normandy. We've spoken with Helena Blake, the person that we encountered in Mass Effect 1. I'm just looking for the way out now. So yeah, the Merc Recruiter is the person that we will eventually be chatting with. But not yet. Not now. Arya is so beautiful. And you'll see why I'm saying, I think, minor as it may seem, this little side quest with Dr. Chakwas, I think it is worth making a point of doubling back here quickly. I think it will help us out if we do that now. So let's head back to the Normandy. Okay, so let's make a point here of chatting with Dr. Chakwas, who I believe is one floor down, if I'm not mistaken, in the crew quarters. Okay, so Dr. Chakwas. We have some chatting to do here, I think. Hello.
How may I help you, Commander?
Also, perhaps worth noting, you may have realized we currently have a new casual outfit on as we are just waltzing around the Normandy. That is the fancy schmancy stuff that we got from doing Kasumi's loyalty mission, and only becomes available to you after you have done so. Of course, we could switch back if we were to go back up to our commander's cabin up on the top floor. But, you know, maybe we'll rock this for a little bit. But anyways, we've got the brandy, more importantly, at least for this encounter, of course.
I have a present for you, Doc.
Ceres ice brandy? You didn't. Thank you. I always regretted not opening that original bottle when I still could. I won't make the same mistake again. Why don't we open this bottle right here, right now, you and me?
Sure. Why not, right?
You crack open the bottle. I'll get the glasses.
I thought Alenko's biotic display might have broken Jenkins' back, but Jenkins pops up and yells, "That was awesome!" Oh, Jenkins. Soldiers like him make the Alliance great. Cerberus lacks the same enthusiasm.
Yeah, which begs the question then, why did you leave the Alliance to join Cerberus? I think we tried to ask you about this a little bit previously, but I'm not sure we got a straight answer.
With your service record, you could have gotten a tour of duty on any Alliance ship. Why'd you really leave?
Maybe it's less about leaving and more about staying. As a military doctor, I mostly treat people who are in bad shape. Often they die. And if I can help them, they move on. Either way, they leave.
Oh, that is kind of rough when you put it that way, I suppose. It does sound like that could be kind of lonely. Especially if, I mean, bear in mind, she's on the ship with us for who knows how long. I mean, how often does she get the chance to see her family and friends and loved ones? You know, in many ways, the people on the ship, her crewmates, are the people that she, you know, is spending most, if not all, of her time with. And if those people are constantly changing and, you know, either they're dying, or she fixes them up and then never sees them again, then, you know, that's hard.
Don't you have any friends or family?
No, not lacking friendship. Just stability. Jeff, Joker will always have Vrolic syndrome. He would never admit it, but he needs my help, and he always will. I wish it weren't, but sadly, it's true.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So this is, of course, Joker's condition that he told us about in Mass Effect 1, otherwise known as brittle bone disease, in which his bones are just quite frail, and so if he's not careful, he can break his bones very easily, and obviously if you break a whole bunch of bones simultaneously, then that's dangerous. That's not good for your health. So, Dr. Chakwas is saying that although Joker tries to act like the tough guy, it does seem as though perhaps at times he does need a little more help than he would like to admit when it comes to that stuff, so, I mean, that's understandable, I suppose, in that case.
Treating Joker gives you a kind of stability.
So does this ship, even if it's a copy. Or, hell, maybe it's you, Shepard. Our immovable center. A place for a person to stop and catch her breath. Or maybe I'm just happily drunk. Would it hurt if it was simple like that for once?
I mean, borderline started hitting on us for a second there. It's a little strange, but, you know, we could toast to that, I suppose.
Here's to simply being happily drunk.
I'll drink to that.
Okay, well, things got a little shaky here as well. But, Dr. Chakwas is, he's taking a second to, shield down here, rest that one off. But, Dr. Chakwas, you know, you might want to, like, actually tilt to the side, just in case, but anyways. So, you might have noticed there was actually, other than just the effects of the alcoholic beverages we were consuming, there was something else that happened there. We did actually pick up an upgrade, a Metagel capacity upgrade, and that was why I was saying as soon as we picked up the Cerescice brandy, perhaps it was worth making a point, there you see it, of going straight to Dr. Chakwas, because now, let's see, does it technically fall under Metagel, or rather armor here? Yeah. So let's pick this up for sure. And that also means we now have access to emergency shielding. That's big as well. That was one of the ones we were talking about previously that we could not yet do, because we needed to get another Metagel capacity upgrade before that was an option. So not only do we get the additional Metagel, but now we can also get the one that will restore our squad members' shields to full strength. Let's see. So shield emitters are optimized to produce a strong, reliable kinetic barrier that can be active for hours. Because of the potential for interference, it is nearly impossible to run two active emitters simultaneously. When one kinetic barrier is down, it's possible to activate a second, but this will generally interfere with the reactivation of the primary barrier. With precise timing, a short-term kinetic barrier can be made that seamlessly retracts when the primary barrier regenerates. So, yes. In short, giving us more survivability, so when we use Unity, not only getting back armor, but also getting back shield. So that is another thing that will be very helpful to us. That's another way we can power up in preparation for this upcoming mission. See, armor upgrades, nothing we can do there. Prototypes, was there anything that we now have available here? No, still can't do the heavy muscle weave. Unfortunately, we need one more heavy skin weave before that becomes possible, so that's a key bottleneck that we'd like to find an answer to soon. We get the, oh, we got an SMG damage upgrade, but maybe we already picked that one up, or finished the research for it when we came back from the Citadel. But anyways, we did succeed in actually getting a couple of upgrades there, so that's very good. And we also got a little bit of experience as well from completing Dr. Chakwas' mission. So, still going to take a bit for us to level up again, but, not bad. Certainly not bad. Let's drop a save in that case. And let's head back to Omega.